There's a lot of talk about self-care these days, and some of that can be good, but I think the Bible presents a lot better model in talking about stewardship. That is, that we are managing not ourselves for ourselves, but our resources, our energy, our time, our very selves for the true owner, God. There are times when the steward of a farm, for instance, will know that harvest requires more work and longer hours than expected, but this is a specific moment when the harvest is ready and we need to work. And there are other times when the stewardship of the land God's given in that farm means that you need to let the land rest. Both of these things are good things. Some generations have overemphasized working hard only and maybe even overextending the resources God gives. Others have overemphasized perhaps the rest that God rightly encourages. And I think what we need to get back to is not talking about our own measurement of what we need, but thinking about how we are stewarding ourselves for the glory of God. That'll give us the kind of confidence to look at the world's expectations and not meet them because they're being pressed upon us. That's a good thing that I think maybe at times self-care people are talking about. But it also won't allow us to make ourselves the measurement and end of our expectations. We will look and say, because I have been bought with a price by the precious blood of Christ, I am going to offer my life as an act of worship to the maker of heaven and earth with joy. That's stewardship. Wanting to be found faithful will enable us to think clearly about when it's time to work harder and farther than we expected we would have to spend and be spent, as the scripture talks about. But it also is a stewardship that will show us that we truly and only can rely on the strength that God supplies. And sometimes we need to quietly wait on him to work. The Bible has a healthy perspective that Christians haven't always balanced well. And so I'm not saying we know how to balance this, but I do think as believers, we need to get back to talking about stewardship more than some secular phrase that captures a heartbeat of the moment, whether it's work hard or self-care or some mixture of those, because I don't think those have to be at odds with each other. I believe the language of stewardship will help us think about offering our lives, both in their work and their rest, to the glory of the Lord who owns our lives.